It's another late night for gamers as they wait to try out the latest game system. The Nintendo Wii goes on sale at midnight, just days after the PlayStation 3 hit
Another night
store
of
shelves.
anticipation for video game fans as Nintendo's latest console goes on sale just after midnight.
I've been here about 5 o'clock. It's about 8:45 now.
What time is the store open tomorrow?
They open at about 6 in the morning. We're actually supposed to get plane tickets about 5:30.
Games console. Some dedicated players camped out for more than 2 nights to ensure that they were able to buy the Wii from Nintendo.
And what oh, jeez. And there goes the tennis racket. I didn't have it on there all the way.
In 2006, the Nintendo Wii was taking the world by storm. Everyone you knew wanted a Wii.
It was sold out everywhere. If you were too young to remember, Wii Mania was absolutely insane.
People were camping out daily during the holidays just to get the Wii before it instantly sold out of any store it was selling at.
We can't stress this enough, the Wii would disappear from shelves sometimes before the store even opened officially. They would let lines in early just to handle the crowds.
There were raffles, Wii lotteries, giveaways, rumored spots to grab one, and resellers just absolutely robbing families trying to get a Nintendo for their kids for Christmas. But that's okay, it's 2006 and the stock market is up and never going down. If you were a kid at this time, there was nothing you wanted more than a Wii console.
I didn't even know I wanted a Wii until these guys showed up.
We would like to play.
But the Wii wasn't a smash hit because of its fancy graphics or expert marketing. We would even argue that the motion controls alone were not the main source of the Wii craze.
Because if you were lucky enough to get a Wii or knew someone who did, inside the box was a small paper sleeve containing one of the most simple yet influential games of all time.
Oh! Dude, I know, it's so good.
Wii
Oh. Okay.
Wii Sports, Wii Sports, baseball,
Oh, okay, you gotta do them
tennis and golf,
Okay.
bowling,
Alright, that's long.
boxing,
Okay, well, we got them all, so now we...
tennis.
You already said tennis.
It would be impossible to talk about Wii Sports without first mentioning its players, the Miis.
Making a Mii is one of the most confusing systems in gaming because its options are so limited, yet you can occasionally make a Mii that looks exactly like the person you're trying to make.
I remember it like it was yesterday. A nice Saturday morning in the summer, I ride my bike to my spoiled friend's house who already has a Wii. He boots it up and oh look, he already made a Mii for me. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, is that what I look like? Oh God.
Why are there wrinkles?
Why did he choose the face shape? Dude, my body dysmorphia just started. If he chooses the round face for me, I don't think I can handle it.
The Miis were a perfect pairing with a console like the Wii and a game like Wii Sports. It seemed like for the first time, even non-gamers were interested in giving a video game a try.
Siblings, parents, aunts, but not uncles. Uncles are not allowed. The experience was made much better by giving everyone the option to make a silly cartoon avatar of themselves for when they played together.
Not only could you play as this avatar, but it would serve as your profile in the game. You could track your progress in every sport, your high scores, your medals earned in the training modes, and even boot up the game every day to track your performance in Wii Fitness.
On top of that, Wii Sports fills its teams and audiences for each sport with the Miis that you made on your console. This makes sports like baseball way more fun. Why play as your character with a bunch of random Miis when your team could be stocked with your friends and family and that one freak Mii that everyone makes? I call mine Squeebo. He's a little freak.
And that way you can have both of your parents working together for the first time in years. You know, on the same team.
Okay, yeah. Any Mii can be on your team. It really just adds to a fun community element to Wii Sports that you build yourself or with your entire family.
Like your whole family back together.
Yeah, or just whoever has the Wii console with you.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Stop, dude, you know I hate it when you pretend to agree with me when we're saying two separate
Yeah,
things.
no, exactly, yeah. Also, the fact that the game automatically reads your Miis in the Mii Plaza made for a great experience with the console as a whole.
There was just this feeling to booting up a Wii at launch that made for a more connected experience throughout multiple games and apps. And speaking of games...
Huh?
Just let me leave it there. Don't add another thing. I don't think there's a single thing that needs to be changed about the core gameplay of tennis.
Tennis is really simple in its design. You don't have to move your characters across the court. Both players swing when you move the controller. The direction of the swing matters, but it's not tracked exactly to the direction of the swing. Tennis was probably one of the most focused on by the media when the Wii craze was happening, and we think it's because it's probably the most accessible and simple to start.
All you have to do is swing your arm, and you can play at least 30 seconds of back and forth before someone scores. Also, the sounds from the controller are so satisfying, especially for a new player.
When we started playing tennis again for the first time in years, I was disappointed with how simple it felt and how little control I had. And then I realized there's a lot more to the game that you learn while climbing the skill ladder.
Right, and that's not unique to tennis. In Wii Sports, we obviously know the draw was to play with your friends and family. But if that were all the game had to offer, you'd stop playing after a couple of hours. So Nintendo decided to not only let you play against other Miis, but each Mii Nintendo created for the game has their own skill level for each sport individually.
So when you start playing the AI in tennis, it's very easy, but as your skill level improves and you head toward earning the pro ranking, the Miis get better as well.
And what I love about Wii Sports is that there's no extra tutorials as you progress. You just start feeling out the sport more and how to master it. When you start tennis, it feels like you just swing whenever the ball comes near you. But then as you become a pro, you start timing your swings and placing the ball on specific parts of the court. So you can position the other team, let's say to the left, and then you follow up by slamming the ball to the right where they can't get to it in time.
None of the sports in the game are very complex, but all of them have a depth that you only see when you're trying to get better at it. The game is easy until the Miis with higher skill levels start forcing you to understand the full scope of each sport to win.
And I can't even explain why it's so satisfying, but becoming a pro feels so good in this game, especially when you were a kid. Usually becoming a pro, even as an adult, takes multiple days as you see your progress rise on the chart. When you become pro in a sport, your character has a pro tag next to their name, which is so satisfying. So tennis became one of the mascots not only for Wii Sports, but also the Wii at launch. But it wasn't the only sport that was a huge hit.
While making this video, we had a ton of people tell us that their dads or other family members, but especially their dads, still play Wii bowling to this day. It's definitely my favorite and most played sport, and I don't mean to brag, but I even made pro in bowling.
Yeah! Fruit salad, baby! Come on!
As a pro, I feel that bowling is the game that's most like how it's played in real life. Like, the structure of the game is the exact same, the map is just a regular bowling alley, and the motions are very similar. Nothing about the game seems to be changed to fit the Wii's constraints.
Tony, we're both pro. You don't have to intro with that. But bowling just feels good to do. It's the same motion as bowling in real life, and if you snap the controller perfectly, it'll vibrate in your hand and the ball will spin and move a bit faster. So when you bowl better and are more likely to get a strike, you feel it in your hand.
Wait, it does that?
Yeah, dude.
I didn't know that, and I'm a pro.
Tony, so am I. I'm telling you a bunch of times. I came to know this a little too well because on stream, I attempted to bowl the perfect game. And there were definitely some low points. Guys, I am one strike away from bowling a perfect game. I don't want to fuck this up, man. Okay. I think this is good. Okay, we've been here before. We've been here before. What's going on there? Line it up. Pull it back, spin, jerk it. What happened to the ball? Oh! Let's go, dude! Straight to the top! Who do you think you are? I am!
Yeah, I got a perfect game too, but I had left my Wii at a friend's house, and then his mom sold it, and then he died, and then she died.
Wait, Tony, I just checked the Wii, and you're not even a pro anymore. It looks like you were a pro for like a day, and you've been dipping down ever since.
Hey man, you know what they say, what's a pro, always a pro. We also have to mention the fun detail of throwing a ball backwards. Even when playing solo, Mii's you've made sit around the lane and watch you play.
And if you toss the ball backwards, they do a little hop. And it's a fun little hop. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what you want from me. It's a fun little hop, so we just wanted to say we liked the hop.
And when you're tired of competitive bowling, you can head over to the Wii Sports training modes.
Wii Sports doesn't only offer playing their games against a friend or AI, they also allow you to practice your skill in the training modes.
Each sport has 3 training minigames that help you get better at an aspect of the gameplay. The cool thing about the training modes is that you can sort of divide them into 2 categories.
1, some kind of precision training that is mostly meant to directly better an important skill, and 2, just a really fun minigame that also happens to work on an aspect of gameplay.
For example, the swing control game in baseball allows you to practice your ability to control where the ball goes on the field after a hit. It's not a super fun minigame, but it's important to work on when playing against more skilled AI.
On the other hand, power throws in bowling for the most part is just a bunch of dumb fun. I would guess that this is one of the most memorable and loved parts of Wii Sports just because of how fun and satisfying it is to try and knock down 91 pins.
I honestly wish you could just skip to the end and knock down 91 pins all the time.
Yeah.
I hate that you have to ramp it up every time because I just want to do the whole knockdown. You're awarded bronze, silver, gold, and platinum medals for your performance in training games, but unfortunately those don't really show up anywhere or matter like going pro does. Most of the sports in the game have at least one minigame that's satisfying and fun, but the cool thing about boxing is that you can tell Nintendo was starting to work on fitness and is a precursor to Wii Fit.
Also, the boxing controls are not great when it comes to where your punch throws, so you end up... Oh, my bad. Sorry, that was your face. Oh, sorry, those, okay.
You jabbed him.
Oh, I jabbed him. I jabbed you. But when you don't want to punch Matt in the face, it's really fun to dodge tennis ball. Ow, Matt. Ow. Matt, you hit me right in the forehead, dude. Ah! However, the baseball training modes are all batting games, and there's no pitching at all, which in Wii Sports is half of the game.
I would say that the baseball training games are a swing and a miss.
Baseball kind of sucks.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I honestly remembered baseball really fondly and was excited to play it.
It's not terrible to boot up and play with a friend or the easy skill level Miis. We actually had a lot of fun playing it with the Miis we created like we mentioned before. However, we hated trying to go pro in this sport more than any other one.
Wii Baseball consists of 2 elements, batting and pitching. This means that you don't run the bases or catch the balls or make any of the plays.
In the early game, that's a good thing. You don't have to play a full, complicated game of baseball to enjoy it.
Right.
But this also means that as the Miis get higher in skill level, they slam every pitch you throw, catch any ball in the infield, which is automatically an out, and pitch fucking splitters all the time, 3 times in a row. I hate splitters so much. Just throw me a fastball. It's so annoying.
And the way they catch the fucking ball and then look at the goddamn camera after.
Yeah, dude, the Miis in this game are so unbelievably rude. If you swing a pitch you shouldn't have, your own Mii will stare at the ground like, did this dude really just fucking swing at that? And then if you do it another time, they look straight back at you directly in your eyes in disbelief that you would do it again, which is super distracting in the higher levels of baseball because they stare at you until the exact moment the next pitch is thrown. So you're staring at their eyes, waiting for them to turn around, and then the ball is already coming at you again. Also, the mercy rule in this game is so dumb. I was in a high scoring game. It was in the end of inning 2 and it was 9-14. They mercy ruled it. At the end, I had already scored 7 runs in the first inning, but they wouldn't allow me to try it. I know, they wouldn't allow me to try it again in the 3rd inning. I also had one on stream where I had 1 run and the other team had 6 at the end of the 1st inning. 2 other innings that I could score a ton of runs. They mercy ruled it in the beginning of the game. Why? So baseball can be very fun to hit home runs and play with your Miis, but the second you get into the depths of this one, it becomes a slow, difficult grind to become pro. And I wouldn't mind that grind if I could at least run the bases or catch balls or have more control over these god tier Miis.
Boxing ended up being the complete opposite of baseball in our opinion. We didn't play it much as kids, but assumed with the early motion controls and our past experiences that it didn't have any depth to it.
And that is the case when you play against a friend for the most part. You both end up punching as fast as you can and hope you can get a hit in.
And when you play early skill level Miis, you do the same thing, punch them really fast and knock them out.
Like, how are you gonna make me fight Chris?
Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up.
Fight back! But as you progress, the Miis no longer allow you to do that. If you send a ton of punches without dodging, you will lose. Dodging becomes really important because if you dodge a punch correctly, the game goes into slow motion and gives you an opening to nail a few hits.
It's pretty much the same system as dodging perfectly in Breath of the Wild or a bunch of other games. A great practice for this is in the training modes with Matt. More than any other sport, it feels like you're hitting the gym with your mentor on the path to going pro, especially because Matt is the boxing champ. Also, side note, the knockouts are crazy violent. It feels like you are killing people in the ring.
And if I was a real boxer and I saw my opponent rise up off the ground like they do, I would retire on the spot. It's disgusting.
They look like creepy marionette puppet zombies, and the only acceptable move would be to pull out a gun in the ring.
After training and fighting pretty much every Mii in the game, you'll finally become a pro and fight at the pro level. The crowds grow in the stands and the fights feel more official.
Alright, Matt, I'm so proud of the work we did. I've risen the ranks, I've gone pro, and it's time for the championship. I couldn't have done it without you. Who am I? Am I doing good, Matt?
Kid, you're the best I've ever trained.
Thanks, Matt. Matt, you missed me.
This was the best day I've ever had.
Matthew, forgive me. Golf is fine.
It's golf, right?
I think it's a really fun and casual game, especially in person, for when you're
Right.
chatting and having a beer while playing, and it was a huge draw for a bunch of dads to get into games and play with their families. Also, the motion controls can be a little weird sometimes and kind of annoying.
Yeah, I had a couple times where it would mess up, but it's fun. It's golf.
Yeah, there's not a lot to say. It's golf.
I'll say it. Wii Sports is one of the best video game soundtracks of all time.
That's right. The songs are just so unbelievably catchy, and it was so unnecessary for them to go this hard on the soundtrack, especially the main theme.
As time passes since the release, the Wii's early music has stayed relevant in meme culture purely because of how good it sounds and catchy it is. It's warm, inviting, and if you played Wii Sports as a child, it brings back so many positive memories.
I'm sure you can tell, we used the music for most of this video because how could we not? The music is part of the identity of the game and the Wii as a whole.
Because Wii Sports is as important to the Wii culturally as the motion controls. This game was the Wii's release, and it's why we all remember it so fondly.
And next month, Nintendo is releasing Nintendo Switch Sports. The game has tennis, bowling, sword fighting, soccer, volleyball, and badminton, with golf on the way. They have huge shoes to fill, and this isn't the first Wii Sports sequel. Wii Sports Resort wasn't a cultural hit like Wii Sports was, but it was an incredible and beloved sequel, and we hope to talk about it in the future. It really did live up and build off of Wii Sports, it just didn't catch on culturally like the first one.
However, the Switch is the most popular console Nintendo has ever sold, and if they can capture even half of the magic of the original Wii Sports and its atmosphere, it'll be a blast.
And I want to be the first person to bowl a perfect game.
But you won't be, because you only bowl a $2.99.
Well, I bowled a perfect game, so.
Well, it took a while, and it took a long time, actually. I saw in your chat people were calling you Eddie Ninepins because you'd always leave one.
Don't call me Eddie Ninepins. That's what people were saying in the chat. You're not supposed to say mean things.
I'm just telling
yeah,
you
I know,
what
but
they
they're
said.
mean people on the internet. You're my brother. You're not supposed to say stuff like.
Who said I'm not supposed to say that? I'm going to say it.
What do you mean?